Hey everyone, I'm back. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time on this Monday. If you're new to these videos, these are in-depth forecast analysis type videos that I put online every weekday afternoon, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes in the morning, just depends on what's going on, but always on the weekday afternoons that I do work. And what this is kind of a behind the scenes video showing you what I'm looking at as I create your forecast each afternoon and evening. It also allows me to get a little more in-depth into the forecast, show you more than I can show you on TV, where I'm restricted to sometimes only 2.5 or 3 minutes. On this video, I have as much time as I want to show you as much cool weather stuff as I can show you. So I try to explain what it is I'm showing as best I can. If you ever have any questions about what I am showing, if I'm showing you some really, kind of really geeky stuff that might be kind of above your head a little bit, that's certainly understandable. Just shoot me a message on Facebook or Twitter. I'll try to explain what it is I talked about the best I can. All right. It is Monday afternoon. It's cold outside, no question about it. Here's a look at the satellite, the radar, and our current temperatures as I record this in the 2 o'clock p.m. hour. Only 27 here in Youngstown, and yes, you are seeing a few snowflakes out there, particularly north of Interstate 80 this afternoon. Just a flurry, but yeah, up towards Warren, Cortland, heading up into Ashtabula County especially, some flurries around. Nothing is really going to accumulate out of this, except maybe on some grassy surfaces, particularly in the highest elevations up in Geauga County. Might be a coating of snow out of this afternoon. But for the rest of us, kind of a mackerel sky. And check out the wind chill temperatures. I guess we didn't report a wind chill at the Youngstown Warren Airport this hour, but it feels like 18 in Newcastle, only about 20 over towards Ravenna, 14 at the Akron-Canton Regional Airport. Out there on the border between Summit and Stark County. So yeah, it doesn't feel like March again today, just like yesterday, and it'd be nice if we had a lot of good news in the short term. We've got good news in the longer term, which I'll talk about, but in the short term, yeah, looks pretty cool. Big picture across the U.S. Today, not a lot of precipitation out there. Our system that's coming our way tomorrow, which will bring us snow, yes, is out here across the Midwest right now. This is bringing snow to the Twin Cities, down through Iowa, Kansas City as well. And this will cruise our way in a kind of a somewhat weakened fashion, I think, tomorrow. But we are going to see some snowflakes around for our Tuesday. We've got some showers and storms down in South Florida. Take off the radar and satellite. Just give you a sense as to the temperatures across the country. Cold air dominating again, especially in the northern half of the country. Lots of cold colors on here, these deeper reds, indicative of some temperatures in the teens up through the U.S.-Canadian border, both in New England and back through the Midwest. It's in the single digits, up deeper into the Canadian prairies, and it's actually below average all the way down into much of the deep south this afternoon. You pretty much have to head to Florida, deserts of the Southwest, to find temperatures that are above average for this time of the year. So yeah, it's cold outside. All right, let's talk about what's going to happen as we head into the future here, and I'm going to bring up our latest high-resolution NAM model for we're going to talk about tomorrow, because the rest of today is uneventful aside from the occasional flurry, especially north of I-80. This is the predicted radar on our NAM model for the middle of the night tonight at about 3 a.m. We've got our weakening system heading east with a little band of snow down in here and a band of snow back through Chicago and Grand Rapids. So middle of the night tonight, weather here locally quiet. Let's skip forward to about sunrise tomorrow, and especially south of Pittsburgh. We're going to be seeing some snow showers around at the start of the day. That other band is starting to push a little closer to northwest Ohio at sunrise, but notice, no problems on our roads tomorrow morning. You'll be just fine. And then at midday, we'll skip forward to 11 a.m. Some snow shower activity getting into Toledo, approaching Cincinnati. Another band of snow breaking out here in the Appalachians and heading over towards parts of Maryland and Virginia. But we're in that little slice of nice again at lunchtime tomorrow. It's actually going to take until pretty deep in the afternoon tomorrow to see much snow here. Here's the future radar tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. And at this point, our low-pressure system will be cruising through Lake Erie, cold front back here like this. And this is when we have our best chance to start to see some snow showers around 4, 5 o'clock onwards, late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. If this were to linger much beyond sunset, which I think it will, we could start to see some light accumulations on roadways, but any snow that occurs before sunset tomorrow evening, this is going to be an accumulation that occurs mostly on non-paved surfaces. So yeah, your backyard might get a little candy coating before sunset tomorrow. Here's the predicted radar then at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Again, this is still pre-sunset, so pretty healthy looking little band of snow shower activity here. Maybe there's a few raindrops mixed in as well, but you know, don't be shocked if you get a coating of snow out of this on your car tops, on your sidewalks perhaps, but certainly on your yard. You could have a fresh candy coating of snow just like we had at the end of last week. Some of us Friday even got an inch or two out of that. I was not around, but I heard through the grapevine that we had a little sneaky snow on Friday. But tomorrow's, I don't think anybody gets 2 inches out of this. Might get a coating, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch in spots. And again, most of it occurring before sunset, most of that accumulation occurring on non-paved surfaces. By after sunset tomorrow, a lot of the steadiest snow is pushing away. I think there'll be some flurries that linger into tomorrow night, and a fresh batch of cold air coming behind that. Wanted to talk for a minute, not necessarily about our local weather here, but the big nor'easter that's going to impact parts of the Northeast, just because it's simply so impressive looking. I'm going to bring up the GFS model here for tomorrow. Let's see, this would be tomorrow evening. First, our nor'easter starting to take shape off the coast of North Carolina. This is going to explosively develop then over the ocean tomorrow night. Here's the wee hours of tomorrow night. Look at this thing winding up, and wow, look at this thing by Wednesday. We've got a massive deepening area of low pressure east of New England, what we call bombing out, or bombogenesis, you might hear, where that's an extreme form of cyclogenesis, a cyclone developing. This is what we call a meteorological bomb developing out over the ocean. I've got the isobars plotted up here, the lines of equal pressure, and you know, if you watch my videos a lot, that one of the basics of meteorology, whenever the lines of equal pressure are close together, that means there's a lot of wind going on, and look at how tightly packed these are. I've also got the ground level winds plotted up here, and let me skip forward to Wednesday afternoon. Boy, the wind. Not necessarily much over land, but not far out over the ocean. My scale over here on the left might be a little hard to see, but some of these deeper kind of magenta colors here, you're getting up to around 60, maybe 70, 75 miles per hour. This is going to be hurricane strength winds, not far off the ground, maybe 10, 20 feet off the ground at most. With this thing. So shipping, of course, will be impacted by this. There'll be a lot of flight delays in the Northeast. As far as the impacts on land, you know, I do think there's going to be a pretty hefty dumping of snow, but it's going to be confined to pretty much the kind of the immediate coast of New England. Let me take off my drawing tool here and bring up the predicted snow here. And you'll notice that the GFS does not bring a lot of accumulation to coastal sections of New England with us. I think that's not quite right. I think there will be some hefty amounts of snow out on Cape Cod, but this is all existing snow before the storm that's showing up on the model up there. So anyway, we're straying far away from the valley here, but such a cool meteorological feature that I did want to touch on it for just a second. All right, back to our weather. Tomorrow, we get our snow showers late day, some flurries into tomorrow night. Wednesday's a quiet day with high pressure building in from the west, so we'll see some sun, but it's going to be chilly. And then we're going to start a pretty decent warm-up towards the end of the week as a southerly wind develops. And unfortunately, it will be accompanied by a few raindrops on late Thursday into Thursday night. Here's Thursday night's map. Here's Friday morning's map. Pretty healthy area of low pressure up here, cold front back here. I think we'll see some raindrops, particularly in the morning on Friday. Now, the GFS does something interesting here at the start of the weekend, brings another wave of low pressure up along our front, and if this were to be right, our Saturday would be wet. I'm not sure if I believe this just yet. Other models don't necessarily have this idea. In fact, other models have been advertising a sunny day on Saturday, so I'm going to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. Worst case scenario, the GFS is right, Saturday's a washout. But right now, I think that's not all that likely. Whatever happens Saturday, I still think odds favor a good-looking Sunday and pretty good-looking weather at the start of next week. Monday could be a very balmy day. GFS predicted temperatures here for next Monday, taking us up close to 70 in northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania. That's next Monday, week from today. Next Tuesday, we're still on the warm side. Could make a run into the 60s next Tuesday. So there is some promise of a pretty nice couple or few day warm-up end of the weekend into next week. So we've got that to look forward to. What about April? The latest climate models for the entire month. Not exactly painting a warm picture here locally. For the month as a whole, predicting us to be below average, much like the last few months. Now, that is not to say there won't be the occasional couple of warm days, but on average, right now this latest climate model does predict not exactly a balmy April for us. Let's hope that it makes some adjustments, but right now I'm not optimistic that April will go down in the record books as a warmer than average month. Some warm days, yes. Some cold days, yes. When we average it all out, probably a little bit on the chilly side for the month of April. All right, that's a long weather for Weather Geeks on this Monday. Sorry to make it a little long. Had a lot to say since I've been gone for a week. Join me tonight, 21 News at 6 and 11. I'll see you then.